Fully redesigned and now in its 4th generation on the market, the 2016 Prius is a very important car for Toyota. So here at the Prius launch for the 2016 Prius, we have with us Dave Lee. He's a Prius expert. This is the 4th generation Prius with an all-new powertrain architecture. This is all about fuel economy, right? 1.8 liter engine, I know that. I understand there's a 40% thermal efficiency with the vehicle.
Really, this is the same 1.8 liter engine we've been using in Prius now through the 3rd generation of the car, but we have made improvements to the engine. This engine here now is 40% thermally efficient. We're losing less energy to heat than ever before. And in fact, right now, to the best of my knowledge, 40% thermal efficiency is the tops in the world for mass-produced vehicles.
I see no more orange cables.
Yeah, and that really goes to another story up under the hood here, Jeff, and that is if you look over to the right of the engine now, you see our power inverter there, what we call power control unit. That piece is now 30% smaller than it used to be. The transmission assembly below that is also much slimmer than it used to be. And so these two components stack very nicely on top of each other now. And in fact, our inverter is able to bolt directly to the transmission that it controls and helps to control. And so you don't see any cabling there. We reduce a lot of resistance in the electrical circuit that way, and also heat loss too. So both the transmission and the power inverter, due to their new designs, are more thrifty when it comes to frictional losses and current losses due to heat.
So the big difference between the plug-in and this, besides whatever stylistic changes might be, would be the battery size.
Absolutely. You know, when you look at a plug-in variation of any of our hybrid vehicles, like our plug-in Prius, you're looking at a lithium battery usually, although most of our Prius now in this model have lithium batteries, but you're going to see much more battery capacity, and we're going to look for a range that's far greater than the 1 mile to 1.2 mile range you would see in these right now if you had a fully charged battery and you electric drove it. So we're looking to stretch that range way out and give that driver the option to go ahead and plug in if they do or don't want to. But the other side of it with the Prius plug-in is that it will continue to be a very efficient plug-in vehicle when it does run out of electric charge, and you do have to rely on the hybrid drivetrain. It's going to be, have every bit as stupendous a fuel economy as this model should.
Well, listen, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
That's been my pleasure, Jeff. Thank you.
Yep. Inside, the vehicle has been completely redesigned in terms of the layout. Gone is the flying buttress design of the Generation 3. Now you've got a nice, more contemporary center stack with glossy black plastic. Optional models have different bells and whistles and so forth, but they all are similar. It's got dual TFT displays with color, and everything's very clear and jumps out at you and color-coded, and it's a very pleasant experience. The vehicle's rated at 54 or 58 approximately, assuming the EPA certification. I have to tell you, I surprised myself. I drove the vehicle back mostly highways and secondary roads, good 20-mile drive or so. Lo and behold, it got 65.8 miles per gallon. We actually had an airport to drive this vehicle, and we had a good long runway to run it, and one guy tried to get it to run over 100 miles an hour, and he couldn't after several successive tries. But that was a quick 40 miles an hour right there. Not bad at all. So for usable around town drivability, this vehicle is just great. What's also cool is the way the vehicle handles now. Gone is that limp noodle feel that the vehicle had before, like it had a hinge in the middle or something. They've increased the torsional rigidity of this chassis significantly. This one is 60% more torsional rigidity. So that means everything stays where it was supposed to. Even if you're going crazy around a corner, the vehicle will flex back and it won't twist so much. Driving it back to back compared to a 3rd generation Prius from 2015, it was very, very clear that this car was a better handling car. It's an excellent long-range car. 54 miles per gallon. EPA numbers are not actually in yet. So Toyota, however, did quote 54. They say they're trying to be conservative. They also say the Eco, which is a level 2 Prius, it's at 58 miles per gallon. The only way they really get it to be an Eco is they change the battery out to lithium ion, which doesn't really make any difference. It just drops about 30 pounds of weight from the vehicle. The tires are 15-inch. They don't use the 17-inch. Really, the difference between an eco and a non-eco, however, is not substantial. Has nothing to do with the powertrain, according to Toyota's engineers. Some people pejoratively call these things appliances. Yeah, maybe it is an appliance. Is an appliance a bad thing? You know, if you have a washer or a refrigerator or some kind of appliance, you don't want it to break, right? So appliance that doesn't break is a good thing. It just does what it's supposed to do, and that is what this car basically is. Some people like the styling, some people not so much, but in terms of how the vehicle functions, there's no question that Toyota has improved the 2016 Prius.